So today we'll talk about how we can create a simple social post animation. We're using a design code to create abstract but is very effective social post. Let's begin. So before we start, let's have several software ready. So there are three software we needed. It's Illustrator. We're not open yet, so it's After Effects and XD. So we try to using those software to combine together, and to really make this enhance the workflow. So I believe that for a small or not very large animation project, After Illustrator, XD, and After Effects will be an enhanced workflow. Okay, so let's begin. First, I'm going to open my Illustrator. So I should have this software ready. Illustrator open. So we're going to create animated square post for Instagram. So there will be we know the size will be create new, and we go to the web. So it's very important you pick the web so that the color profile will be RGB. Otherwise, there'll be CMYK, so the color will be looks a little bit different. Or the internet based on sRGB. Okay, so change the width to 1080 by 1080. Okay, and we'll create this document. And also want to show some of the techniques that we can create color swatches from online pictures. I'm going to share one of my picture. Feel free to using those type of work from my website. So it's c4xd.com illustration. So you go to this section and you will find some. I'm kind of highlighted some of my recent illustration work. For each of the style, I actually have a lot. So I will kind of like open. It's more like the resources for students to download. So for example, for this picture, I have about thousands of variations because I'm kind of like programming it. So it's a beautiful color and very simple, but in some ways it's a very engaging, design. So I'm going to copy this image. So to get this color, and to create using this one as a base to create a work, create the social post. Okay, so first thing I want to do is go back to Illustrator and just go here and hit the command. So once you already copied this image, you go back to here, Command V. You paste this image in. You will see this is immediately you get the pretty nice result. Okay, so the colors actually works pretty good. But next let's go to this is too big. So we want to change the size of the paste picture. Don't just say I'm going to find the control anchor points. So actually just go as return, and so you can type this start with the 50. Okay, so it's pretty close. Okay, so as return 50, we got this image almost ready. We'll be able to access all the points. Okay, you can also use Shift F to preview, because the original one is a little bit of rectangle, but the one we're going to create is more like a square. So I think it's a perfect trimming. Okay, so got this one, and next is very important to how we can get this color, and to there are several different way. Sometimes you may want to say I like the swatches, so I can use this one to see the variations. So the one you can go is using to show swatches. Okay, so it's a little bit longer. So show swatches, and then highlight this this picture. And you cannot actually get the new color group from here yet, because this is not a final version yet. So to do this, to make this document, to make this picture quite ready to create a group of swatches, so you can go click this and then do image trace. Okay, and since this have more than 10 colors, so we just go using 16 colors. Okay, so hit OK. So do a 16 color image trace for this one. So this one will give us some color group. So once we got this, once we image trace it, you can then go to new color group, and again, let me just show that again. So it's under the right corner, right side, right top corner, upper right corner of the swatches panel, and create a new color group. And you want to create this one from a selected artwork, and hit OK. Let's see here. Oh, we still not. Okay, so we need to expand this. Do that. Okay, so now we have, don't forget to expand it. So once you do the image trace, the first version, they still have the original picture. So it's kind of like a hybrid, elements. So you need to, expand it so you get all the colors. So this will be a good resource. But in most of the case, you can actually just go get a color, directly from using color picker. So we, let me show you another way. So, but it's very nice to have this swatches because, it's so many options that you can try different colors by using these color options. So if, for example, color guide, Shift F3, when you select any of the color from there, they show you some, recommendation, and that means more possibility from there. Okay, so what I want to do is kind of like recreate this thing, but also I want to this original piece to be shown in the panel as well. Basically, I want to try to recreate those core elements. But the problem is when you ungroup this. So let's do Command Shift G multiple times. And then you'll be able to move those elements. You will find this is actually Shift G. So that because it's an image trace, is not a completed piece. So what we need to do to recreate some of this, recreate this structure of this image, this illustration. So it looks simple, but we try to find a best way to get a perfect result. The image trace result actually acceptable. But there are some missing pieces. So let me show you how what I'm talking about is, for example, this block. When we do just a static print, is okay. But when you do animation, you will find this is actually have a missing piece here. So we needed to fix it. Okay, so to fix it, the best way is to just redraw that elements. Okay, so let me show you some strategy. We can recreate those missing pieces. One recommendation is you want to do is to hide some extra elements, so you can concentrate on these elements. Let's try to create this environment. So I'm going to hit F7. So because I wanted the new drawing is kind of like the on the new layers, so I can create a new layer. Later I'm going to work on this layer. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I want to actually let's go the easy one. Okay, let's do the easy more of it. Because there are a lot of tricks tips and tricks that can available, but sometimes to introduce those can slow down the process. For example, if I'm doing this, I'm going to do Command Option Shift 3 to isolate this object, and then I'm going to just redraw this one by Command Shift A, M, and draw it. Okay, and then I'm going to lock this one. Actually, that should be on a new layer. Okay, so on the new layer, well, we can fix that later. Okay, so I can directly draw it, and then Command 2 to lock this new drawn elements. So that become mine. So and then Command Option 3, so we get everything back. Okay, so a little bit confused, right? So, all right, so let's, maybe just using this method, we continue to use this one more than 10 times, and you get the idea how this one works. It's homemade. Okay, so it means I developed this. I think this will work pretty good from this method. So let's do the little yellow piece. So I select this one, and I'm going to enter the isolation mode. So Command Option Shift 3, because that one is locked, so I cannot actually control that. So let's just do that regular way. So I have this one here, and then first I already get this everything selected, and I got the color. And what you need to do is Command Shift A. Just not select it, and hit M to draw the elements. Okay, so I'm going to make this one. Okay, drag this one back to this layer, so then I can control this layer. So I have this one here. Okay, so we forgot this layer things, so we can fix that later. Command Shift A is the one key that is play a very important role in this one, in this demonstration. So let's move to, actually we can hit I, get a color of the, once you did the Command Shift A, you can just hit Shift I to get a color of this pink box. And then you can just draw this. Okay, I think this one's done. And then hit Command Shift A, very important, do that. I think that's the better way. I like to do a live, demonstration, because the live demonstration will help me to correct the idea and then find the best solution for solve a certain problem. Okay, so design is continually solve a problem. So for this one, then the optimized workflow will be like this. Okay, so Command Shift A first. You want to deselect everything, and then get a color you want to do for this little piece, and hit M, and then we'll draw just the size. Okay, so you see it's very good. We got this one, and then Command Shift A, very important, and get the orange piece, M. Okay, we recreated this orange piece. So it's not necessary to be very accurate as the original one, but let's just try to kind of match the concept. So the next we're gonna do is to have this orange piece. I'm gonna just directly have this orange piece drawn that. So Command Shift A, I get the color, M. So in the panel, I'm just gonna draw one here. Okay. All right. So Command Shift A again, hit I, get the yellow piece, and hit M. So really using utilize the smart guideline. So you will see the purple. So definitely using that to help you to place more accurately. And then I'm going to try to create those two as well. So Command Shift A, hit I, get that piece, Okay, I'm gonna just draw a little bit longer one because I'm gonna kind of like move the things from there, bring down a little bit. Command Shift A, I, M. Okay, so kind of like draw a new one. All right, very good. So from here, I think we create all the essential elements. So we can select all of this. This become animation ready elements. So and then we can cut. So Command X, and then highlight the layer 2. Or if you do not have a new layer, just create a new layer and then highlight it and then hit the Command F. So so this one will paste on the front. Okay, so then this one will be enhance the layer. So let's remove it. Let's turn off the enhanced layer. So let's see. This is the original one. In this one, we have some of those bars for the background. So how can we create this? I would say it's a there's several bars. Actually, you can see that very simple, but have a different color. So that will be using the same method, but it will need a little bit larger VO. So they are all equal size bars. So what we can do is to create this, maybe just pick one of this. Okay. We can just recreate everything from there. So it's an M, and then we draw a bar. Okay, so we have this one here. Okay, it could be a little bit different. So we can just copy this, hold the Option, and then bring down to we also recommended to hold the Shift key at the same time, have a duplication, and then Command D, Command D, Command D. So then what you're gonna do is to give this color from those each pieces. So how can we do this one faster? Is hit the I and hold Command key, hold down Command, get to the first piece, and then get the color. And hold down Command, get the second piece, get the color, and hold down Command, click, and then get the third piece. Just keep going that this way. So using Command key as a selection, select key. So just try to have that. Okay, so and now we have this piece here, and you can just rotate. When you hold the Shift key, that will be 45 degree. But this one definitely is not truly 45 degree, but really, not that crucial, elements. So we can kind of like just bring things here. So yeah, so it's a perfect match, the precision. So what I want to do is Command X as well, create a new layer and put it here. So Command V or Command F. So Command V, Command F function a little bit different. So we'll be able to recreate this art. And so you can turn off the original one. So now you have all the floating piece that is ready to move forward. Okay, to move to the next stage of doing, XD animation. Okay, so let's go move forward. So what we're gonna do is to copy this the whole thing here, Command C, and then go move to XD. So we'll try to Command V. Well, you can sometimes you can let's see. Okay, so try to match the position. That's sometimes if you want, you can have them separate a layer. Okay, so we're gonna ungroup this everything. Okay, so that will be the same. Command Shift G multiple times. So you will find that each piece now is movable. So what means in animation, so when we convert those things into After Effects, those is movable elements. Okay, so before we actually let's just move everything into After Effects. So to do that, we're using Command Option F. Okay, I'm going to move the whole thing in there. So click the title, Command Option F. Okay, I think it's already there. Okay, so Command Option F. So it's going to open After Effects and have all the elements there to for you to. Okay, so this one actually have a separate layer. Okay, we need to also ungroup this one as well. So Command Shift G. So because we have a two large group. Okay, so make sure that you be able to select each individual elements before you click the title and then move to using Command Option F to move to After Effects. Okay, so now we have the new one. Have obviously more elements that are movable. Okay, so using the same concept, how we can do the quick animation is hit Command K in After Effects, hit Command K, and we have this setting here, so it's 1 minute, so it's too long. So we just want to create maybe just 4 seconds. So let's do 400. You can type 400, that means 4 seconds. If you type 4 points, that means 4 seconds as well. So we create this 4 seconds. And we created this, when preview, that's the whole timeline here. As you can see, that will be the 4 minutes. So from 4 seconds, sorry, for a second. So let's begin with how we can create a simple animation just based on this, just based on the current, those floating elements. So let's move to the 3rd second here, okay? And then at this point, we want everything to be the final presence. So that means the animation should stop here and in some way stop here. So to show display information for at least 1 second. So that means from a 3rd second to 4 second. You don't want this one to be always animated because you want to give the people one moment they can stay and to see the information. So that's a good spot. And what I'm going to do is to really back to the layers and click any of the layers and hit Command A. So that means select everything, select all A, right? So and then we do Option P. Okay, so some of you may not have this, maybe see the difference. How we can doing that is Option P or Alt P. That should work on Windows computer. If that does not work, okay, what you're gonna do is to hit P, and that should show the position mark. And then you will see the little stopwatch icon. So just go there, 1 click. So because all the layers were highlighted, so that means 1 click they'll apply this one to all the layers, all the selected layers. So the same function, same result as Option P. Okay, so just in case. So once we got it here, we can now back to the beginning of the timeline. So usually, if you have the full size keyboard, that would means home key. So we type home. Okay. So from here, it's very a little bit careful of what you're gonna do when everything was selected. Okay. So we don't want to select this one. So let's do Command Shift A, the same thing as we learned from Illustrator. So now we're going to just kind of like move everything around. So we can use the comma key to type a comma, and then to give you a little bit more room to see the elements. And then we're going to do the animation. Okay, so let's try to I'm going to move this one here, and move this one here. Kind of like they're not here yet. Okay, so think about it, the beginning theme. Okay. Okay, so we can remove everything, leave this space. Okay, so we create quite a simple animation here. So when you hit play, you see everything seems is returned. Everything is returned to show those elements. Okay, so I think it's pretty good. So we create this animation, but feel free to, if you want to say, I wanted to move some, things to doing faster, to move this element, do a little bit faster. So to quickly, okay. So what you want to do is just, you would say you want to make the elements faster. You want to narrow the space, narrow the distance between those two points. So that means fast. And if you want to arrive, certain elements arrive early, you want to move both. Okay, so basically you want to, so kind of like draw a selection here and say, I want this pink one to be fast and early. Okay, so, and then let's see what happens here. Okay, so it's fast and early. So using this method, using this kind of a linguistic way to understand how to do the animation. So, and it's fast, that means shorter distance. Okay, shorter space, shorter distance between two diamonds. Early means a little bit close to the beginning of the timeline. So later, for the later time. So that's kind of like the way how you can understanding those diamonds. So once you have this one here, and what next things want to do is to create a text, create a quotation here. So to put a clean text post. Okay. So how we do this is you're gonna do to create. Let's go back to home. Okay. Home actually is not elements. So to design, to redesign the static element, you want to hit end. That would means the end of the timeline. So you can feels more like a graphic design concept. Okay. So what next things I'm going to create is a text elements in After Effects. Okay, so why we're not doing this one in Illustrator or XD? Because they have some, missing elements between when transfer those, text elements between those software. So it's better to do this one in After Effects. So let's try to create this element. So the fast way to create this is actually Command Option Shift T. So you can quickly type to create a text layer, as you can see here on this panel, text layer, and then you can type some quotation. I like this one, so less but better. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so then you can confirm by you will see that I did the wrong example is using escape, so that won't work. Okay, so why? Because escape means you discard this type. You're not satisfied with this type. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is Command Option Shift T and type this one more time. But better. Okay, and then you are using Enter key, or just simply click something else. Okay, click the something on the timeline, in the timeline, not somewhere here. Okay, so it's a timeline. So just kind of like click something. Okay, so this will help us to select, or you can using the longer Enter key to confirm. Again, it's not return. It's Enter key. Okay, so once we got it here, and we can now change the font, change the size. Okay, I'm gonna just change the type. Okay, so the type panel is Command 6. Okay, Command 6 correct the panel. But it's usually this is a dynamic. So it will link with your design. So I'm going to first change the position for this one, And then we're going to change the color. Okay, I like the different font, so I will see if I can find something. We're just using that, the default one, because that gives us all the same idea. Okay, so let me just Command Z. I'm going to using all Helvetica so to create this animation, but I would actually give some tips for this, how we can do a text-based animation. It's actually very cool. And I'm going to do a random text animation. So for example, for this one, at the beginning, we're going to, create this, let's see what we can do is, so we create an animation. For example, we're using, it's like the matrix one, it's not really readable at the beginning. It's like a random alphabet, but then the things appeared, so we can see less is but better, this concept. Okay, so it's create a timeline of understanding this text elements. So we're using this one called, we have this text layer here, and then we're going to go to open this one, and when you have this text layer, go to animate, and then we create a character offset. Okay, character offset. So let's see what that means, offset. So you will see this is random, right? So this is random elements. So you can just simply increasing those number. So it's become quite random. We don't know, people cannot, we don't know what it is, right? So we can create an animation, or it's really okay so to not doing those. Okay, so but let's try to create a simple animation of this. So we create one from from this timeline. We create let's do, okay, so 0 will be recognizable. Okay, so we wanted this one to be start with 1. Okay, so just go active this timeline. So when this one at the beginning, okay, so we create this one like a 1, and then we just go back to the end, and then we just give this one some kind of a random number. So it's kind of a change, right? It's kind of a change, but that's not resolve the that's not kind of a helpful, because we still want this elements to be seen. So then that's why we need the range selector. We need to animate this one called offset. So so just go here to open this range selector 1. Okay, for this text elements. So we create the offset animation. Okay, offset setting at the beginning, and really think about how fast you want. Okay, so I want this one to be like shorter than 1 second. So the whole duration will be shorter than 1 second. So it's not say I'm going to place this animation at the beginning of the video. So when I'm making, I would just make it here, and then move this one to some place. Okay, so let's and then for the end point, I would just point it to like a 40 frames, and then change the offset to 100%. So what you see here is, okay, so it's maybe a little bit too fast. So let me just go. Okay, so some kind of like that, and then I move this one to kind of before the third frame, the third second. So kind of like so at the beginning it's kind of like a chaos. Okay, nobody know what happens, and then we have this something in order, and then we have the text shown there. And you can create another one using the same idea, and down here you can place a logo. You can also move and this element, and you can do the same thing, do the elements. So because it's a simple layer-based animation, so let's go here. We can do the same thing. So kind of like go here and I create option P and just back to the beginning. Okay, and then drag this one, leave the same. Okay, so it's about the second, about 1.5 seconds. So this one start to move inside. Okay, so to create this kind of like a simple animation. And also the final tricks is for all those diamonds, when you hit Command A and hit F9, so you create a simple ease in and ease out effect. So they will make the animation feels a little bit better. Okay, so again, that shows the concept of how we can create this simple social post animation. Okay, so enjoy the process and do more practice and try to add elements. You know, when you get some inspirations from anywhere. We're using simple geometry background, but actually you can using whatever you like. It could be a Photoshop layer, which also can be transparent. You know, in even XD. So really, I really encourage you to use this method, Illustrator, and then XD, and then After Effects to try to create this connection. Okay, so this is quite a meaningful and helpful skill set. All right, so once you finish this, and you can just follow the regular process and export using Adobe Media Encoder, and export to MP4 H.264. So those things, you know, if you still every time you still try to figure out what's the result, what's the settings, do that 10 times, okay? And then until your next time you do this one more intuitive, you don't have to even to think about it. That will enable you to see the new beauty of try to find solutions, because you know you're definitely doing better on that. Okay, so enjoy the process. So that's all.